Welcome, Smashers! As you all know, a new Smash Direct came out on October 23rd, and of course I was going to make a video about it. Now the Direct came in the form of the 50 Fact Extravaganza! So today, I'm going to tell you the top 13 things about the 50 Fact Extravaganza that really fucking blew. Number 13! Default lineup. This is something that really bothered me about the 3DS version too. You have about 80% of the roster already available from the get-go, and apparently people think that unlocking things is boring. I was really looking forward to unlocking a lot of the characters in the roster, only to find out in the demo that I could already choose them. That was something about Melee and Brawl that kept me hooked, other than the amount of fun I had. And now you just have to play the game for a day and you've already unlocked everything. I just feel like that's really boring. And it gets worse in the Wii U version because even more characters are available. So who are the unlockable characters? Mostly clones, and that's even more of a turnoff. Number 12! Internet connection! The reason I include this on the list is because they hardly make any emphasis on it. They even tell you to use the Wii LAN adapter if it's not working properly, which gets me kinda worried. I've seen how well the internet connection is on Mario Kart 8, and it was pretty damn good in the 3DS version of Smash as well. What I'm hoping for is that it's not as bad as Brawl's. While the online matches I did have in Brawl didn't have much lag, I attribute that more to the fact that it was usually just me and one friend. Add a third friend and it would render the game unplayable. I really hope that that's not the case this time around. Smash Bros. Is a game that at this point requires online capabilities. Number 11! Voice chat! Speaking about online capabilities, did you know that the Wii U gamepad has a fucking microphone on it? Yeah, apparently now you can have conversations with your friends and whatnot, but they tell you to not activate it to better your internet connection. I appreciate the fact that this function exists, but people are usually talking on Skype during any online game anyway. I don't know, it just feels kind of pointless. I don't think I'll be using it all that much, but hey, if you do, more power to you. Number 10! Dual plane battling! While it's a very neat concept, I personally feel like it's going to be very disorienting. Never did we have to play on a deeper plane before, and I feel like this new feature is going to prove why. Imagine going to the second plane and fighting someone while two other fighters are duking it out on the first plane. It'll be pretty hard to focus on something that's not right in front of you. I guess only time will tell how well it works. If I can say anything good about it is that the game sort of penalizes you for going back there with a greater damage ratio, meaning that you'll fly farther if you get hit back there. Of course, this could also work in your favor. Another thing is that you won't be able to abuse going back and forth, as doing so will result in the barrels blowing up on you. Like I said, only time will tell. Number 9! Coin battles! The only thing I can appreciate is that they're back. That's pretty much it. I never really played coin battles. In fact, I don't think I ever did in Brawl. I may have played one or two in Melee, but that's it. I remember feeling kind of odd that they weren't present in the 3DS version, but believe me, I didn't miss it. For those of you who do get a kick out of it, again, more power to you, but I just don't think it was necessary to bring back this game mode. Number 8! CDs! Why did these need to come back? I was actually glad to see that they didn't make a return in the 3DS version. Then again, there's a lot more music in the Wii U version, so I guess that justifies it a bit, but I don't see why CDs couldn't just be unlockables. I mean, some of them are, but you'll still need to grab them on the battlefield most of the time. In Brawl, it felt awesome when you got one, but if you didn't, you felt terrible because you don't know what that CD was and you don't know when another one will appear. I don't mind the idea of unlockable music, I just wish you didn't have to unlock them like this. Number 7! Smash Tour! I'm gonna tell you the truth. I wasn't a big fan of Smash Run. 5 minutes in a subspace emissary-like setting, collecting different power-ups from different enemies from the different franchises in the game is fun. Having 10-second matches afterward isn't. And that's the only reason you collected the power-ups in the first place. So, all in all, it felt kind of pointless, and for the Wii U version, they're making a board game out of it, which actually seems to be more complicated than Smash Run. Collect different power-ups, collect different characters, which act as your stock for the final match. It's like combining Mario Party with Smash Run. Not even Smash Brothers, just Smash Run. And it just doesn't sound all too fun. Number 6! AMIIBO! First off, I don't know why they couldn't just call it Amigo. It makes more sense, honestly. But that's not the point. The point is that they expect these little figurines would be a fun idea to train and fight against, only for you to take them to a friend's house and have them beat your friends. It's like when someone's picking on you and you call your bulky friend to defend you. Sure, you have an awesome friend, but you just come off as a pussy. Have you ever wanted to combine Pokemon with Smash Brothers? Well, now you can, because your Amiibo have levels and your friend can pit his Amiibo against yours. No pun intended. That's the equivalent of having your bulky friend fight against your friend's bulky friend, just to prove whose bulky friend is a better fighter. Sure, they're your friend, but with adaptable AI, which is kind of scary actually, they learn things themselves. You didn't really train them, and at that point, you both come off as pussies. We're getting the game to play for ourselves, not to have the game play for us. Number 5! MEWTWO reveal!
Okay, before all you Mewtwo fans out there start raging, the reason he's on this list is because I understand other people. Personally, I'm one of the people who didn't understand why Mewtwo was excluded from Brawl in favor of Lucario. Sure, I didn't use Mewtwo all that much, but he was pretty significant. A buddy of mine sent me the proof that Mewtwo was going to be included, and I was pretty excited, but then I saw the stipulation. He's going to be DLC for those who get both versions of Smash 4. Free DLC, apparently. Except that he's not really free. You have to invest in a copy of Smash for 3DS and a copy of Smash for Wii U. Not only that, but if you want this legendary son of a bitch, that obviously means you have to have both consoles. I just think it's really unfair that they expect people to invest in something they don't have the means of obtaining. I mean, people can't just be throwing money out the window for DLC. Not only that, but he's not even going to be available once the Wii U version comes out. He won't be available until spring of next year. According to them, making even one fighter takes a long time. Sakurai, I think the Brawl modding community would like to have a word with you. Number 4! Clear movies! Why is this a point? It's been in every game since 64. It would be weird if you decided to take it out. Heck, it was even in the 3DS version. I just feel like it was a huge duh moment. It's like they didn't even know what else to include in the 50 facts, and they just ended up including a bunch of stuff we already knew or already assumed. Number 3! Trophy Rush! I didn't really like this in the 3DS version either. They say it's the best way to get more trophies, but is it? I don't recall getting that many trophies in the times I've played it, and the fact that they added multiplayer doesn't really add anything to the table. I mean, sure, you can both cover more terrain and destroy more blocks, but that's it. At least I can say that I hope it'll be more useful in the 3DS version in terms of getting trophies. Number 2! Masterpieces! I love that they include demo games from the characters in Smash Bros. So you can see what they've been in or how they started. What I absolutely hate, though, is that these demos are pretty short, or at least they were in Brawl. They seem to have more time added in Smash 4, but I feel like that'll benefit some games over others. Not only that, but this time around I feel like the Masterpieces section is going to be purely commercial, since you can choose a certain game and buy it at the eShop. You don't have to, but it just feels like they want you to do that. Number 1! Composers! Since the Wii U version has more music, it obviously has to have more composers, right? Of course it does! Mega duh moment! But you can't have this as a selling point. People aren't going to be interested in your game just because it has a lot of composers. I mean, sure, I love some of this composer's work, but that doesn't speak to everybody. Most people like the compositions, not the composers themselves. So not many people are going to care about who composed what. It just felt really silly that they would make the composers a point in the Extravaganza. Well guys, thanks so much for watching my first top 13 list. There was a lot to choose from, but when there are bad things, there are gladly also good things. Click here to watch my top 13 things I'm really looking forward to from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.